session of our cybersecurity awareness training that we are offering in collaboration with MICT, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. Today is session 7, which looks at the topic managing phishing attacks and incidences. So we are going to be deep diving a little bit into that. So for those who are new to these sessions, just to recap, we have 8 of these sessions over an 8-week period, having them every day on a Friday from 11 to 12. We do record these sessions as well, so we will be providing a link to the recording afterwards. I'll also be sharing a website with you, or a space on our website where you can access all of the recordings, as well as the links to join for next week's session. This will conclude after next week. This will conclude 2023's cybersecurity awareness training sessions. We are going to be doing them in the new year again, just to refresh our memories and to keep us extra vigilant and help us become cyber resilient. So I did mention that this is a collaboration between ourselves and MICT. The Ministry and SALT signed a memorandum of understanding for a 5-year period, in which we have committed to develop this and provide this training to every single person in Namibia for free of charge. And that is what we are busy doing. So thank you so much for joining today. We really appreciate it. And we're going to kick off for the session today. Just maybe before we formally kick off, some house rules. The session will probably not be a full hour. We do leave some time because if there's any questions and answers or anything like that, we want to give you a little bit of extra time there. You can also, it's an interactive session. We will be having some activities. So you are, your mics and your cameras have been enabled. You're also welcome to ask, unmute yourself, put up your hand or unmute yourself, ask me if you've got any questions. You are also welcome to use the chat. So please use the chat. If I don't respond too fast enough to the chat, just be patient. I will be checking it periodically. But if it's urgent, you can definitely just speak to me. We will have this session. There's going to be introductory piece by our Honourable Deputy Minister of ICT, which I'll play first. Then we will work through the content, and at the end, you will have the opportunity to have a quiz as well. And I'll take you through what that quiz is all about. But let us start off this session today with the video recording from the Deputy Minister.
With the evolution of information communication technologies, Namibia as a developing country is no exception to cyber attacks and cybercrime. The growing cyber attacks jeopardize the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of Namibia's critical infrastructure. The Namibian government seeks to build a cyber-resilient nation. Hence, in line with cabinet endorsement, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology developed the National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness-Raising Plan. The purpose of the awareness creation is to empower the nation's citizens with the knowledge and skills to make informed decisions when faced with potential cyber criminal activities, whether in general or at the workplace. The national document is a step towards building cybersecurity resilience and digital security to enable an innovative Namibia and attainment of social and economic growth. With this plan, the nation is prepared to respond effectively to the threats or attacks on network systems and services. Namibia will reap benefits and economic opportunities presented by the use of ICTs on the condition that the country's citizens are ready, capable, and vigilant against the threats that include phishing attacks, ransomware, cyberbullying, and child online vulnerability. The National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan helps to safeguard the citizens' privacy, educate and create awareness to safeguard the national critical information infrastructure, as well as ensure collaboration on cybersecurity to continuously improve the safety of vulnerable groups in the cyberspace. The scourge of cybercrime has the potential to negatively impact the nation's ability to achieve its developmental objectives. Namibia has encountered a rise in incidents of misuse of available internet platforms by criminals to carry out cyber attacks. These growing cyber threats disturb the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of our national critical information infrastructure. It is for this reason that the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, in collaboration with South Essential Information Technology, is hosting a series of awareness creation sessions for the Namibian nation. I therefore urge you all to join the ministry and South Essentials efforts to participate in the sessions in order to be equipped with the necessary skills in order to be safe on the internet, protect our nation's critical infrastructure, and make informed decisions should you fall victim or help those who fall victims to cyber attacks.
All right, that was a message from our Deputy Minister. Okay, let's continue with our session. Let me just get our PowerPoint up and running. Okay. All right, so let's quickly have a look at the Wall of Fame. So the Wall of Fame is not a physical thing, it's going to be a virtual thing. If you attend all of our sessions, or at least watch the recordings of all of our sessions, then you pass the test at the end of the each session, then you will be eligible to get a badge. Again, this is not a physical badge, this will be a digital badge. And the idea behind it is that if you've attended the sessions, you've passed the test, then you will get a badge that you can display on your social media to showcase that you are also now a digital security superhero. So watch out for those. If you have missed some of the sessions, I will be sharing a link where you can go review the recordings, and you can then just ask for me for the test link. And if you then do pass the test and watch all of the recordings, we will, after next week's session, probably the week after next week, we will announce and congratulate you if you have attained your digital security superhero badge. Okay, so looking at today's session, we are going to do a quick recap of our last session, just because, you know, with anything new that we need to learn, it's always a good idea if we repeat a little bit. It's only with repetition that we really do learn. So we're going to do a little bit of a recap. Then we are going to look at how do you know if you've been phished. Remember, we've got different topics. The previous topics were more around prevention, and this session today is a lot around, you know, how do you handle it if it's actually happened to you? What do you do? And then we have a quiz and an activity. And then we'll have Q&A at the end of the session. But maybe just to start off on the right foot here, I am going to just launch a quick poll. You do not have to be disturbed by it. It's one question. You can complete it or you don't have to complete it. It's sort of just a little icebreaker poll. It's going to pop up on your screen. So let us look at our recap. There. What's very, very important, and I hope that it's come over in such a way over all of our sessions, is that you are the last line of defense. I did an ethical hacking course during the week, and it comes through time and time again. You can have the best hardware and software. You can have the most robust systems and tools in place. At the end of the day, it is us doing the clicking. It is us giving the personal information. It is us jeopardizing our own family safety, our own businesses and organizations, digital security, because it is the human element that is being preyed on the most. The criminals, and this is why we are sitting with a 10 trillion US dollar a year problem, where 5 years ago it was a 1 billion US dollar problem a year ago, or 5 years ago. Today it is a 10 trillion US dollar problem, and it's because they prey on human emotion. They prey on humans, or depend on human psychology, more than the Trojans and the viruses and all of those sophisticated tools. That's one part of it. But if you actually have a look, and I'll see if I can find the image, maybe I can show it to you before we end our session today. If you look at the internet and you sort of, the picture of the iceberg that they have always, the iceberg is on top of the ocean, but it's a small part of what is going on at the bottom of the ocean. And that's where we should be scared, because it's exactly the same. The internet that we work on is at the tip of the iceberg. Below the tip of the iceberg, there is a massive dark web. And this is where our personal information that gets hacked and stolen is sold, and where horrible criminal syndicates are planning and plotting to commit crimes and successfully commit those crimes. This is why cybersecurity or cybercrime has surpassed, in terms of the gross domestic GDP that they actually produce, is more than all of the drug cartels in the world. It is probably currently the top revenue earner if you're looking at criminal syndicates. So please be super vigilant, super aware, and you are the last line of defense. But the good news is that they are using psychology to beat us or to try and attack us, and we will use psychology to fight back. And that's all what this training is about. So just remember, the responsibility is with you. Okay, so let's look at a recap. So what are the signs that we should be looking out for phishing attacks? We said that the signs are urgency, report or history, if it's someone we have been transacting with in the past, like the bank or Netflix or Facebook. Those are used. It's not the bank, Netflix, or Facebook's fault. They can't really do anything about it. They're being impersonated. And we looked in the last session at how easy it is to actually impersonate an organization by buying a domain name and creating a fake website. But if it is the messages coming to you that have got from an authority, then you should be vigilant. Mismatched or suspicious headers, mismatched or suspicious links, unrequested files. If you did not order a package that was going to be delivered through DHL, then why would DHL send you an email? So please, if it's unexpected, and again, not to say that this must immobilize us, that we cannot act at all now, just to say verify, contact DHL, phone them and ask them if there's really a package on its way. And then especially if sensitive questions are presented as standard. If they are wanting your personal information, we looked at personal information in the previous sessions, they want your personal information, be vigilant, phone back, use a different form to make contact with them. So what is phishing? Phishing is basically a fake email. It is a fake email. Well, it's actually a real email, but it is not coming from the person or the organization that you think it is, because they have impersonated the domain name or the email address, and they're sending you this mail trying to get information out of you. Be wary of links. Please be wary of links. Remember, in the last session, we looked at that, similar to how a physical map works. The location is indicated by a street address. It's the same in the internet. If there's one thing spelled differently in that domain name, then it's going to take you somewhere else. So please, you don't have to click on links. none of our the businesses that we do business with or interact, they will send us links anymore. You know which organizations you do business with or you interact with, you will go make them favorites rather, so that you don't need to click on links. Spoofed websites, we looked at those spoofed websites, how easy it is to buy one from places like GoDaddy with just a simple letter or number or different that they buy, and then they impersonate the actual ones. And definitely, how do we know if a website is a safe website or not? If it is showing you it's not secure, it doesn't have the S in the HTTPS, or there is a misspelling of the domain of a URL name. That's how we know. So just maybe as a very quick test as well, I am going to quickly launch a poll just to see if you were paying attention last week and if you're paying attention now. So let us go have a look at, see if you can complete that poll for us while I move over to the next slide. So those are the things that we must be vigilant of. All right. I'll give you a minute or two to just complete the poll before we go into you took the bait, and that means you've been phished. And what are the signs that you've been phished? So I'm going to give you 1 minute to just complete the poll. Okay, wonderful. I think most people should have been able to complete the poll by now. I hope so. So I think that we can proceed, but maybe before we proceed, let me show you. I told you. Hi. Sorry. Do you have a question, sir? No question? Okay, good. So maybe before I jump into the you took the bait, I managed to find a picture of that illustrates the internet and the dark web. Let me quickly show you, because this is really, really powerful to understand where we are and where we actually operate when we're on the internet and where the criminals operate. I hope everyone can see. Let me know if you cannot see. All right, so this is just to give you an idea. The public web, this is where we can, where we operate, is the surface web. Then there is the deep web, which is online bank accounts, healthcare, academic, secure. The government operates there. That's the private web. That's what the public doesn't have access to. And then there is the dark web. So there at the bottom is the dark web, which are used by cyber criminals to do all kinds of criminal activities, sell all kinds of guns and drugs and all of those things. That's where the horrible stuff happens. And when our accounts, and that's why things like the GDPR are so important, that we are GDPR compliant, that we are also compliant with the Namibian Data Protection Act, because it governs how our personal information should be treated by social media houses, by our own organizations, by businesses, so that they've got the proper security controls in place so that they cannot be hacked and your personal information be end up in the dark web. So that is why it is super important for us to be extra vigilant and to make sure that our businesses, that they have got the proper security in place to ensure that our employees and also our customers' personal information does not end up in the dark web. We don't want to be going there. Good. So let us quickly jump into our training for today. Okay. Okay, but before, this is now the second time I'm interrupting myself, but maybe let me rather do that later, but just to give you the feedback then, in terms of the poll that I launched for the people, just to check if you have been paying attention. And I must say that, actually, yeah, excellent. There's been some really good, responses to the poll. So we had urgency, rapport, or history. The question was which show the signs that it could be a phishing email. Urgency, rapport, mismatched or suspicious headers, definitely. Personal emails, not so much. Mismatched or suspicious links, definitely. Newsletters, not. Unrequested files, I just mentioned that. Team, please, if you didn't request a file, that's definitely a sign that it could be a phish. We will confirm then. And then things like it comes from the authority or the bank. Those are all things that should make us super vigilant, and just at least not to react at all, but to please just be vigilant and verify. Always verify. Good. Sorry, my screen is jumping all around. Okay, we looked at that. Thank you. Okay, so now you took the bait. What? Okay, if someone, I'm going to be very upset with people if you're playing with my screen, because I let everybody have rights in the school, and I'm going to take it away if the people in the school are misbehaving, which they are doing right now by clicking through my slideshow. So please, can we be polite and not do that? Thank you. All right, so you took the bait. Identity theft, that's definitely one of the things that can happen to you if you have been phished, is identity theft. Unfamiliar transactions, definitely if there are things going through your bank account that you have not authorized or you're not aware of, then that counts as an unfamiliar transaction. Same with emails, all of those things. If you don't know about it, then definitely there is a reason to be concerned. Locked accounts, these emails that you get or notifications that says your account has been locked, definitely you can start worrying then, and we'll look at what you're going to do if it does happen to you. But any notifications of locked accounts, unprompted password resets, Team, if I can really just reiterate the importance of multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, go put it on all your social media accounts. If your organization or business has not yet implemented it, please talk to us. We can help. But you have to have MFA, because what happens with the unprompted password resets, it means that someone has cracked your password, gotten into your account. The social media entity or the mail provider has realized that there's been access from a different location or something different device, and they are asking you if if it was you that reset your password. So please, the multi-factor authentication doesn't matter then if they've got your password. If you are MFA'd, then you will be safe. So please, multi-factor authentication. And then finally, spam coming from your account. If there is spam coming from your account, definitely, and we'll look at how you can see that. That's also an alarm bell. Okay, next we're going to look at a video. I'm going to just play you a video. What is identity theft, so that we can just understand what it actually is, and if it does happen to you. I think a lot of people sort of have heard about what it is or think they know what it is. It's actually terrible. It is terrible. If you have your identity stolen, and people can do the most horrendous things. They can commit crimes. They can do absolutely horrible things, and many times without you even knowing it. So it's very important to understand what identity theft is and how we can, what we're going to be able to do about that. So let me share my screen so I can play you that video. I will put the captions on because I've noticed that my sound is maybe a little bit soft, so that you can at least hear and see.
What is identity theft? Identity theft affects millions of people each year around the world. Crafty fraudsters can steal identities in a number of ways. Some fraudsters commit identity theft by stealing physical information. They do so by dumpster diving, stealing mail, or taking discarded devices like computers, printers, or phones that have not had their hard drives wiped. Sometimes they rely on social engineering, which is when the fraudster manipulates or tricks a victim into giving up information. A common form of this is phishing, where a fraudster impersonates a trusted individual or entity and asks the victim for sensitive info. Identities can also be stolen through high-tech means like malware or data breaches, where hackers target large organizations and steal the information of multitudes of employees or customers. Information stolen through data breaches is often sold on illegal trading websites. With many different avenues to grab your information, how can you protect yourself? Make sure that all documents containing any personal identifiable information are shredded before disposing them. If you or your organization is getting rid of electronics, make sure all hard drives are wiped or rendered unreadable before disposing, reselling, or donating them. Never send personal information via email. Reputable organizations will never ask for this. If you receive a phone call asking for information, ask to call them back. Find their official phone number online and call that number back to verify the claim. Avoid using unsecured public Wi-Fi networks where hackers can be lurking. Check your billing statements and credit reports regularly to spot any suspicious activity. If you or someone you know does become a victim of identity theft, freeze any affected financial accounts. Check and freeze your credit report. File a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission if in the U.S. Report the incident to your local authorities. For more information on fraud, like identity theft, visit.
All right, so unfortunately, we can't file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission because we are not in America, but there's really good and positive movement in Namibia. So in Namibia, we have what we call the CERT. This is an arm, not an arm, well, a section of the CRAN, the Communication Regulation Authority in Namibia. And there was actually a session this week where CRAN actually announced what is, how far are we away from the CERT actually being launched. And I believe it's very close to being launched. Maybe I can just give you a quick view on the activities of the CERT. This is where we as Namibians would actually report. Let me just share with you. Where we as Namibians would actually report these type of crimes. Just bear with me. I want to show you because it's really amazing what we will be able to do. And it's such good progress for us in Namibia. So let me show you. Okay. Okay, so let me just show you the activities. CERT activities, there we go. So it's going to build confidence in the digital economy, protecting of the confidential information, improve national cyber resilience. So what it's going to do, the CERT is going to create awareness campaigns, announcements, technology watch, development of technical capacity, constituency development, and incident handling and management. So coordination of action, technical remediation, and documentation for lessons learned. So I'll keep you also posted on social media about the CERT. Very exciting times for us in Namibia. We are now really going to where the first world countries are in terms of our cyber resilience and our cyber security. So very positive as well. Good. So we just had a look at what's identity theft, and it is quite scary. So when I was saying it, you are the last line of defense, I was being deadly serious. It is, and again, with the person that is playing around with my thingy, not funny. Okay, thank you. Please stop. Thank you. All right, so impersonation, let's have a look at impersonation. Impersonation is literally when your identity is being used by a person that is pretending to be you. So this happens a lot, and I urge you today to go and search for your own name on social media and also on the internet and see what pops up. It's very dangerous leaving those accounts. They prey on the fact that you won't be doing anything about it. You have to report this to the social media entity, Facebook or Twitter or whoever, if your account has been impersonated, because that account can now be used to try and get money from other people, to engage in other criminal or fraudulent activities with people in your network. So please go and check, go and search your social media, see if there is, because what they do typically is they just save the picture or a picture. If you haven't set up your privacy and security settings on your social media accounts, anyone can go in there and just go and download a picture of you that's on your photos and use that to create fake accounts. So if you have not yet secured your social media accounts, from having everyone being able to follow you, please review the previous sessions recordings on how to do that. But because this is exactly what happens if you don't do that, then they can impersonate you and then try to.
Join. They'll send you the recording after.
Sorry, Jacobi.
Register to join. That's it.
Yes, we will send the recording after. I will. Okay, so impersonation, very dangerous. Please don't leave it, because it will come back to bite you or haunt you or to commit a crime against you. So unfamiliar transactions, please, if you have not yet put alerts on all of your social media accounts and also your banking, please put those alerts on. There's quite a good reason for it, that if someone does get access to your account, then at least they will they can't do too much damage before you notice it. So mine, for example, set up on 200 Namibian dollars. If anything more goes through my account, be it in or out, I am notified. So please have that set up on your bank accounts. If there are any unfamiliar transactions going through, then typically this is what you would be experiencing. Sorry, I don't know if it is someone being funny or if it's my computer that's making nonsense today, but let's go for. Okay. So unfamiliar transactions, definitely something to be worried about. The other thing that you can be quite, or at least 99% sure that you've been phished, is if you are locked out of your account. If you are locked out of your account, then, and this can be very painful to get back into your account, because Facebook and the and Insta and all of those, they are huge organizations and their support is not wonderful. So I believe me, we've had so many people coming to us that they've been locked out of their account. It's such a cumbersome thing. You barely cannot even report it yourself. You have to have someone report it on your behalf. Then they get confused and they lock the wrong account. So avoidance, prevention is better than cure here. But if your account has been locked, then definitely you have probably been phished. So what you must do, and if you possibly still can do it, because remember, some of the hackers are a bit slow and they're working with lots of people's accounts. So if you've got if you have still the opportunity to try and log in from a different device and change your password, then you do that. But if you would have had multi-factor authentication activated, then you are okay, because they won't be able to get into your account without them getting a code. So in that case, you have a problem, and then you must try to change your password as soon as you can. If it's not possible to change your password, then you have to, and irrespectively if you did or not, you still have to contact the entity like Facebook or WhatsApp or what have you, and just tell them that your account has been compromised. Good. So the unprompted password reset, this one is very, very important. This one says this password for your account has been successfully reset. If you did not change it, then please read the password protect your account. please, if you get a message like this is one you don't want to leave, because if you do leave it and you don't go and reset the password, then someone, a criminal, has gotten into your account, they've reset your password, and they can now start sending emails or messages or messengers from your accounts. So please, if you get this message, then you must go in. Obviously, you verify. It needs to be an authority that you are working with. So if you don't have a Samsung account, then this can't be possible. Then you don't react to it if you don't have a Samsung account. But if you do have a Facebook account and you are getting this message, it's safe to go in, and please, if you can, go reset your password and put on multi-factor authentication. So if someone has accessed your mailbox, then you probably will become familiar with the concept of spam. So spam is irrelevant or unsolicited messages sent over the internet. I'll say that again: irrelevant or unsolicited messages sent over the internet, typically to a large number of users for purposes of advertising, phishing, or malware. So you see the irony here. The irony is you were phished. Now your account's being used to send spam to phish even more people. So definitely that is something to be wary about. Okay, so how do you see if someone has access to your account to send spam? One of the ways you can do it is go to your outbox. And if there is mails in your outbox, let me just show you that again. If there is mails in your outbox that you didn't send, yep, you have been phished. And definitely report it to your IT department immediately. Okay, so the next one I'm going to play you is another short video. And this one is specifically around the different types of threats that we can have. Now, again, the purpose of this training is not for you to learn all of this off by heart. Definitely not the case. We don't want you to learn this off by heart. You are not supposed to be technical cybersecurity experts, but it is good for you to know what these different types of phishing and malware is and what it can do to your systems if they do get access. So bear with me. I'm going to share my screen and my sound. And I'm going to play you this video about phishing and malware. I'm just going to, okay, the captions are on. Okay.
Josh here from Absolute. In our last episode, we saw all kinds of cyber threats. In this episode, we'll see how those threats can get to the goods. Let's look at phishing, the most common tool cyber criminals use to get access to our systems. And we've all seen it. The email from your bank or a company you patron asking you for information. Please update your account or profile or membership or something. The logos, the font styles, they look real. And there's a button staring back at you. What is it about people and buttons? There's this unmistakable urge to click. And now that you've scratched that itch and you've clicked, the attacker gets a toehold to push malware, ransomware, or even grab control of the device directly. Phishing is the most widely used weapon for cyber attacks for one single, very important reason. It works. It exploits our most basic instincts: curiosity, cooperation, trust, and a willingness to share and help. And when we fall for these deceptions, we are likely to play host to some unwelcome guests in our IT environment: malware. Malware is a smashed word coming from malevolent, meaning bad, and software from the word software. Malware tends to come in four forms. 1, viruses. 2, worms. 3, Trojans. And 4, hostage takers, or ransomware. Viruses are aptly named because they infect the system and interact with normal processes to either get the user to do something to give access or to disable the system in some way to make it unusable. Worms are designed with the expressed intent to replicate and spread to other systems. Like viruses, these pesky malwares corrupt the host system, but are tailored for reproduction, and thus they're more damaging. Compounding the sadism, we have Trojans. These malwares look like approved apps and softwares, like a printer driver. So they're not easily detected by antivirus. Once installed, they replicate and forge onward to other resources playing the same trick. And by now, most of us have heard of the last of these weapons: ransomware. The malware designed to lock your files and data until you pay a fee, usually in the form of cryptocurrency, so it can't be traced. But the good news, of course, is that no phishing scam or malware is effective without an existing vulnerability. Once again, we see why persistent endpoint visibility and control is so essential. Unless we can see our trouble spots and quickly remove risk, we are bound to fall victim to these attack vectors. In our next episode, we'll continue looking at notorious threats, botnets.
Good. So you can, for your own information, definitely you can go and Google or go to YouTube. Is a wonderful free resource as well that will give you a lot of information on the different types of attacks if you do want to skill up. I'll also share my LinkedIn profile at the end of the session. You can go follow me. I did a fantastic ethical hacking course this week, which I have posted on LinkedIn, and you are welcome to go and actually access that course for free. So I do share those courses for free because I've got a LinkedIn subscription, and I'm able to do that. Just bear with me 1 second. Let's have a look at what to do when you have been phished. Okay, so what do you now do if you have been phished? You have now seen the potential that can happen. There can be malware in your organization. If you've been phished, you let something in, you clicked on something. That's why the whole unrequested files thing is very important. If you didn't request it and you are clicking on downloading, on opening purchase orders or an invoice, then you are potentially exposing the entire organization to a ransomware attack or some other cyber attack. So the general steps are: number one, remain calm. Do not freak out. Remember, I was talking about the psychology and how they use that to actually in their attacks. And one of them is they are actually relying on you to freak out. So don't do that. Remain calm. Inform your internal IT department, please, about the attack immediately. If it is a phishing email, then you can report it. In your Outlook toolbar, there should be, I don't know what it looks like on Gmail. As a business, we rather want to use the security and compliance of Microsoft World. So in your Outlook toolbar, you have the ability to report it as a phish or spam. So what Microsoft then does when you report it as a phish or spam, they actually go and put controls in place so that that mail doesn't reach other people as well. So very important. And then totter over and take your laptop or your mobile device or whatever it is that's been compromised. Please take it to the IT department. So next step is, what if you have downloaded? Now, people, this does happen to us. It's happened to one of my friends recently, and a simple matter as, it was a Sunday afternoon. She was not really concentrating, and she clicked on something she shouldn't have, and she downloaded something. So if you have downloaded something and you're quick enough, then please don't open it. If you still have time, delete it immediately. Disconnect your computer from the network. Okay, so how you do that? Number one, you disconnect the Wi-Fi. If you're on the Wi-Fi, then you disconnect it as fast as you can, and you pull out the network plug. That's what it looks like. This is the one connecting you to the local area network, the LAN. This is the one connecting your computer to the other computers or the servers in your organization. So pull it out as soon as you can. Then, if you can, then you scan your entire system. If you can, but best practice is you take it to the IT department. But if you're a personal user, then you can scan your system. If you have put in your credentials, if you have put in your username and password, if you have done that, then again, scan your system. So most of the devices, most of the machines in the world probably do come out with Windows as an operating system. And by the way, if you have a legitimate copy of Windows as an operating system, you've got an antivirus. You've got a fantastic antivirus already. You don't need to go and get a free one, which is harvesting your data. You can use Windows as security. You just go to your search bar and type in security. and up pop will this window, which will then enable you to scan your device. Computers don't like more than one antivirus, just as a note. So you've got to choose either or. But if I were to choose, I'd rather choose the one I paid for as part of my computer or laptop than one that is free. And I've mentioned this before, there is no such thing as free. They will get something out of you. You always pay some way. So if you can, change your password on the accounts involved. Stay alert for possible misuse of the data. All right. And it is prudent if you have entered those credentials, say you entered it in your in an FNB or a spoofed or FNB website that was not hacked, it won't be hacked, but spoofed, then you can definitely reach out to your bank. If it's on Standard Bank or Bank of Windhoek, and just say, listen, I did this now, please just check that my account is okay. So reach out to them. If it was a banking institution involved, immediately call them and cancel your card or stop your card. Contact the company or the person that the phishing attack impersonated. So remember how we looked earlier at where we said if they phish you, now they can use your mailbox to phish other people. This is the same thing. You must let the person know. If you get a funny email, which it's got a funny attachment, and say, for example, you do sometimes get mails from NamWater or Roads Authority or City of Windhoek or whoever, and this thing has got a weird purchase order attached to it, please let the entity know, because by not letting them know, you are actually assisting the attackers to spread the evilness further. So always scan. I cannot say this enough. For 90% of the problems we have, scanning your device will solve it. You can always also remember to update. If that update sign comes, please update your device. Watch out for warnings of identity theft and put a fraud alert on your credit account. Okay, that's it. So now we're going to go over to our activity. I see we have some people on the call. No, you're all able to unmute yourself. So you are welcome to either use the chat box here. You can use the chat box to answer this activity or participate, and you're welcome to unmute yourself as well. So what happens? A friend calls you and needs your help. They downloaded an attachment, and only after downloading it, they realized that the file had a strange file extension. What advice do you give the friend? What should they do? Yes, SRC Academic, your hand is up. Do you want to give it a go?
Yes. Hi, Vanessa. It's Manuel here. I'm logged in with my SRC login.
Okay, hi, Manuel.
Well, I got kicked out at some point, but I just got back in, and I heard you say the first thing that we must do is we should be calm, right? Because they work on our psychology.
Yes.
So that's the very first thing we do. And then I heard something in the lines of we should also disconnect the Wi-Fi network.
Yes.
Or whatever we are connected to, we should disconnect that. That's how far I can go.
No, but that's perfect. That's a very good start. So you'll tell them to please immediately disconnect their device from any internet, from any network. They must disconnect. And then if possible, they can delete the file. If it's still possible for them to delete the file, and then they must please run over to their IT department as fast as they can. Or if they don't have an IT department, it's an individual, it's a person, just a singular person, then they must also scan their system. So well done. Thank you, Manuel. That was good. Thanks so much. Okay. So another way that you can become part of the fight against cybercrime, I always say that it is us against them, the good guys against the bad guys. You can always report the threat. If you see you receive some other communication that you now know it's fake or whatever, you can send an email to threatalert@salt.na. Send an email to threatalert@salt.na. We'll post it on that page. And if you go to that page on our website, you go to our website, salt.na, there is a drop-down box on the right-hand side under contact, and there it will tell you cyber threat alert. then those threat alerts will appear there. We have not recently really had one that was digital, but I know about 1 or 2 will still upload, but you can go and subscribe. And then as these things come through, then you will get an email as well to notify you, just so that we can all work together to help each other. The next thing that I can really recommend you do is that you sign up for our WhatsApp bot, iSecureBot. iSecureBot, you can send a WhatsApp to 085 173 2873. And you can engage with the bot. The bot has wonderful material. You'll see there's a little menu, and then you can download files, all to do everything with cybersecurity, how to keep your accounts protected, about physical security, anything you can think of to do with cybersecurity will be there. You can also ask it questions. You can also leave it a voice note. You're also very welcome to scan in the QR code. Yes, that little cloud bubble thing is a QR code. If you do have your mobile phone handy, you can actually scan in that QR code, and then it will take you to the bot, and you can just say hi to start your engagement. So I'll give everyone a minute just to scan in the QR code. If you have not engaged with the bot is quite smart. You can even leave it a voice note in a different language. It'll answer you in the same language. Unfortunately, not yet our local languages, but you can give it a go in German so long if you so wish. But we're working on that, so please make sure. This is very helpful to have when you are having a crisis, or someone you know is having a crisis. It's very useful to have this bot so that you are able to engage with the bot. Good. I hope everybody is done scanning. If not, remember there will be the recording. I'll show you where you can get access to the recording. It's also on YouTube. So if you follow us on YouTube, we are posting all of our recordings on YouTube as well. Good. There we go. It's some nice tunes. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is the test. I will also be posting the link to the test. I will post for you in the chat box. If you don't have the capabilities to actually scan a QR code, then you can either scan the QR code, and I'm putting the link for you in the chat box as well. You can go and do the test. Remember, if you attend all of the sessions, or at least you watch the recordings and you go and do the tests, then you can also get your digital security heroes, digital security superhero badge. Wow, what a mouthful. So that is up then after next week's session, which is the last session. We'll be looking at everyone who has passed the test, and then you can look forward to having your own digital security superhero badge, which you can then put on social media, and you can, then you can brag about it a little bit. I hope that everybody is learning quite a bit in these sessions, and that if you do miss any, I'll be sharing the link for you to review these sessions. So you don't need to finish the test now. There's not a time limit on the test that you have to finish it before the end of the session. You can finish it afterwards, and then you can definitely either scan in the QR code or use the link to do that. Okay, so this is me on LinkedIn. If you are on LinkedIn, please go search Vanessa Maresh. I post every single week. You'll see what my favorite topics are. Cybersecurity is one of them. Like I said, I did the ethical hacking course this week. It was just fantastic. And by virtue of myself having a subscription, you don't need to pay for that training. So more free training for you. Good. Then last but not least, if you go to our website, salt.na, then you can go to the contact again. There's digital security and public sessions. Bear with me 1 second. Apologies for that. So you can go to our website, salt.na, and contact, and go and click on digital security public sessions. You'll find, obviously, it won't make sense for you to register for the older sessions now, but there are registration links there. But there's also, we put the recordings there as well. So on YouTube, if you're following us on YouTube, you'll be notified. We'll upload it there. but then also on our website. You can go and access all the recordings. We will be doing this again next year, so not to fear if you've missed something this year. Good, and that is the end of our session for today. I would like to take the opportunity to say thank you very much, everybody, for attending session 7, Managing Phishing Attacks and Incidences. I hope that you feel a little bit more empowered after the session, and that you will be wise and vigilant in all your engagements on the internet. I'm launching a quick poll as we end off our session, just to ask you, how do you feel a bit more secure on the internet after in attending these sessions? And then also just to open up the floor for any questions, any feedback from the audience. So this is real me, for in case you don't want to ask my avatar a question. Any questions? Any feedback? I see that there is a hand. Yes, Manuel. Your hand is up. Any questions? You can just unmute yourself. Okay.
I was checking on the links, but couldn't, I mean, on the sessions on the browser, but those recordings are not there.
Let me just check. Just see that you are in the, were you on our website? Just show you quickly. So you need to be on our website under here, www.salt.na. And then on the right-hand side, there's under contact, there's digital security public awareness sessions. And then you'll see if you scroll down, this was week 1. So week 1, there is the recording. Shall I post? I'm going to post this link for you in the chat box as well. So I'll post the link for you in the chat box as well so that you can find it easier and you go to the right place. Let me put it in the chat. Okay, so you can just go click there. Then you can just go to that web page. Then if you must scroll down and you'll see that for each week, there is the recording. I think we still need to upload last week's. We'll do that as soon as possible. And then obviously this week we'll also try to do today still, but the rest of them are all there for you to review. Okay.
Thanks, because I was actually looking for last week's one.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we are guilty there. We will upload that one ASAP, but I think it's already on YouTube. Let me quickly check here for you. What you can also do, I'll share the screen. We're a bit faster on YouTube than on our own website, unfortunately. Let me just share for you and I can show you. Because we have and it's fortunately and unfortunately that our name is Salt Essential IT. Because if you only type in Salt in YouTube, you're going to get Salt. So you want Salt Essential IT, and then you'll see if you go to the video section, there's last week's session, there's session 6. And then you'll see there is also the week before. So we also post on YouTube. If we're a bit slow on our website, you can go and follow us on YouTube. We'll post as fast as we can. Sometimes they are just a little bit big, the videos, you know, with the bandwidth in this lovely country of ours. But we will promise to be as fast as we can. So for now, you can find it on YouTube. We'll upload this one today also on YouTube, and then we will, as fast as possible, upload the others as well. Good. So thank you very much, everybody, for your time today. Can I ask for one last round. Are there any questions, any comments, anything, or can we close for the day?
Yes, I was having trouble unmuting myself. I think I'm able to now, Vanessa.
Okay, good.
Firstly, I think this whole session was very, very, very eye-opening. It's just a shame that I found it about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know it was going on for how many weeks now? 4 or 5 weeks prior to today. I learned
in
so
week
much.
7. We're in week 7.
I learned so much, Vanessa. It was very insightful. I'm glad I actually participated. I will also share this with some of the students on different WhatsApp groups and stuff like that. I think it's very, very interesting. Thank you so much for taking your time and teaching us such valuable information.
Thank you for that feedback, Manuel. We appreciate it. And remember that these are the public cybersecurity awareness sessions. So at over 8 weeks, I hope that you could see, Manuel, where you can find the previous recordings now of the sessions as well. We will be doing another round of these in 2024, early 2024. So follow us and MICT on social media. We'll be posting there. If you want to, you can also subscribe to our mailing list. Our mailing list, we will then also always communicate when we do these type of events. We'll let everyone know that's part of the mailing list. You can use you'll see that part of the test at the bottom, it says any other feedback. Then you can just stay there, indicate to me that you'd like to be advised of future events. Please add us to your mailing list. Then we can also do that. We are also available with MICT to do this training for you in one day for your organization and your business. So we will come to you. If it's outside of Windhoek, it might take a while, but in Windhoek, we can come to you. We also visit the coast and the north quite regularly, so we can try to make sure we get to you physically. We can do a physical session, so we'll sit there for 4 or 5 hours and work with your students or with your employees. We will work with you, work through all of this training in one session. We can make it in one session. It's also possible to do virtual. So if you have got a large group that you want to join, then we can do this same type that we're doing here. So we do basically this training on demand as well. So if you are interested in that, you are more than welcome to use the feedback form or leave a message for me in the chat. I can reach out to you because we really, as I said in the beginning of the session, our mission and our goal is over the next 1 year is already over the next 4 years that we have got this memorandum of understanding with MICT, with the blessing of the Honourable Deputy Minister to make Namibia more cyber resilient. Our goal is to train every single person in Namibia. So we are available to assist. Thank you so much. I don't think there are any more questions. We're a little bit over our time today. I say thank you very much for everybody that could join. You must have a fantastic Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I hope you do spend some of this weekend making sure that your cybersecurity standards are up to shape. Go watch those recordings, understand how you can make your social media accounts more secure, how you can make yourself, your family, and your business more cyber resilient. And so until next time, next week, same place, same time, I bid you farewell.